Sometimes I have dreams that end up meaning something. Check this out. I had this dream on August 19th of 2003, about 20 years ago, and it turns out I wrote it one day away from my mom's birthday. I was 15 years old at the time. This gets a little crazy, but here it goes. Dear Journal, last night I had a strange dream. In the beginning, I was running away from something, and I have no idea of what. So after a while of running, I let myself get caught. I soon found out that I was running from a certain homework assignment that my mom wanted me to do. When I looked at the assignment, I realized it was easy and did it quickly. The next thing I know, I was sent to a mental hospital, and they wanted to take my head off and trade it for my mom's, or someone's. After looking over several experiments with small birds, I said no, and that I was going to keep my head. The doctors then said that if I don't, my mom will die. I then said to the doctor that if I did, she would most likely also die, and that she would probably have more time to live if she kept her head. From what I remember after denying this transfusion, I went exploring around the mental hospital I was in, and found my way into a meeting. I don't know what the meeting was about, but from what I remember, there were these two cute girls I went up to and sat by, and we got into a little conversation about what we were in for. I don't remember what their answer was, but I said they didn't want to know what I was in for, even though I had no idea. From what I remember, there was this one scene where there was this guy, and the doctors were amputating his arms because he kept cutting himself. The next thing I know, I was disgusted and went to take a shower. While I was in the shower, I looked out of a small window and saw that my friends Charles and Kyle were coming to visit me. So I quickly got out of the shower and went and got my clothes. Then I went back to Charles and Kyle and started to show them around. I don't think they were supposed to be there, because every time someone walked by, they would find somewhere very interesting to hide. As we went exploring the hospital, the place slowly started to turn into a mall, and then I woke up. I thought it was a very strange dream, and I had no idea where it came from. I just wrote it down to remember it. Kyle. Again, I had that dream about 20 years ago, and my mom just died at the beginning of this month on May 4th of 2023. I've had many other dreams since then come to mean something, so I've learned to pay very close attention to my dreams. When it comes to understanding my dreams, I've learned to look for symbols. So let's start off with the homework assignment and the mental hospital. What could this mean? Well, around 10 or 12 years ago, my mom got a job working at a place called Red Rock Canyon School, which was a boarding school for troubled youth. It can be seen as a mental hospital. At the time, my mom wanted me to go work there too, but at first I really didn't want to. I kind of preferred doing my other stuff. I was doing construction at the time, but she kind of kept at it, and eventually she won me over, and I ended up going and getting a job over there. Red Rock Canyon School has since been shut down after a big riot and some mismanagement, but I've been doing that line of work ever since. And my mom did too, up until the day she died. So I think that could represent the homework assignment that I was running from and the mental hospital that I was put in. Next we have the head transplant. This symbol has become very obvious to me. It is my responsibility to take her memories upon myself, and it is my responsibility to keep her memories alive. Though she never told me to do it, it wasn't just some chance that I went out and got those interviews done with my mom when I did. Those interviews were meant to be. This is part of a bigger picture. Next we have the man getting his arms amputated. The stuff is kind of morbid, but I don't think I would have remembered the dream if it wasn't. I think the man in my dream represents my grandpa. Though he did have a foot amputated, the emphasis was on his arms, which I think represent his children. As my mom mentioned, he was kind of abusive at times, and because of that, some of his kids didn't really want anything to do with him. And so, in a way, it's kind of like a ye are the branches of the house of Israel kind of a thing. These are his children are his branches, and they have decided to cut themselves off from him. This grandpa, my mom's dad, just happened to die about 1 week after my mom died, and I'll be attending his funeral this weekend. Then we have the shower. The night before my mom died, I gave her a hug, and she looked at me and told me that she thought I was a good dad. I smiled at her, and I thought to myself, oh, but you don't see all my imperfections. But I told her that she inspired me to be a better dad. I think this whole recommitment and inspiration to be better, that can be seen like a shower, a cleansing of oneself. It's a renewal. And then after that, my friends come along and I get out and go get my clothes. And though I didn't write it, I don't remember ever getting into them. I may not have been in anything more than a towel, if even that. It was kind of an awkward thing that I was too embarrassed to write at the time, but I'm telling you now. And I had a dream a while back before going to a Flat Earth conference, and I remember I had a dream where I was standing in front of people naked, and that was kind of when I learned that these kind of dreams mean you're bearing your soul to people. And so as I'm bearing my soul and telling you this story right now, this is me symbolically standing naked before you. And remember, when I saw my friends coming, I saw them coming by looking through a small window. That small window could represent a computer screen. And remember how my friends got all nervous and tried to hide anytime someone walked by? Really often, when someone watches a Flat Earth video, that's kind of a response that some people really get. Oh, don't watch me. I don't want anyone knowing I'm watching a Flat Earth video. It was either Mark Sargent or Rob Skiba who talked about closing all the blinds and turning out the lights and secretly watching a Flat Earth video because they didn't want anyone else to know about it. Okay, back to my dream. And then the scene changes to where I'm sneaking through a mall where there are clothes all over the place. And then I wake up. As to what that means, I don't really know. But maybe it represents the end of this video. Thank you all for watching.